Okay, so I've got this riff idea in my head, and it's just a bit of a bouncy, chuggy thing to start. We'll do all a bit more movement up the neck later on, but for my main kind of hook, I want a chunky, repetitive riff that you can really get stuck into. So what I'm thinking is something like this. Then it goes twice, 3 times, then once. So let's think of a tempo. I think that's a bit quick. Let's go 135, and we can always speed up, slow it down, and then re-record it. But let's have a go at that riff as it is then. So I've just got guitar left and right, a bit of space for some harmony guitars, drums. I've got Superior drummer here. I've got Progressive Foundry. I've got a default preset called Attack, and what I've done is change the snare out from it's defaulted on the Black Beauty, and I've pushed it out to the Pearl Mahogany because it's a bit warmer. It might sound a bit odd in the on its own, but in the mix it seems to really go. So I'm just going to record this phrase, and then we'll start building this track. Okay, so we've got at least one cycle there, so what I'm going to do is capture that, and then I'll get the drums down, and then what we'll do is have a longer section, and then I'll play it like the whole verse as I wanna. But I'm not wasting my time on that at the start because I want to get the building blocks together, get the idea down. Here we go. Okay, so let's get to where one cycle is. Okay, so we're starting and ending there, that's fine. Let's get rid of the bits we don't need, and then we can put our loop to there. Cool, right, let's get drums. Let's get something drum-wise to start this. Let's get the trusty keyboard on. Let's turn him on. Okay, just to recap though, what we're doing is we're working with this new pedal, this new grunt pedal, the Tone Master Pro, and it's really quite aggressive and it's good fun to play with. So keyboard's on. Drums. Well, I've not heard any drums. Okay, it's not got any drums. Fine, there we go. Right. So, I'm gonna have a think. I'm just gonna play through and see what you like the sound of. Okay, I think already what I'm gonna do is gonna get the kick drum to mirror it. So we'll just do that. Okay, let's pick a nice. That'll do for now. Just a bit on the backbeat, a cymbal. Okay, so I've not taken into account the when it goes down to the 3, 2, 1 at the end. It's a bit different. Okay, so we'll just catch it there, and then we're going to need the snare, and then I'll quantize it briefly. So where do we want the snare first of all? Okay, so let's get the snare in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to briefly turn that into piano roll and just quantize all of that. So let's do that, bit of Control and A. And what I'm going to do is 50% because it shouldn't be horrendously off. Okay, what I normally do straight away, I don't like the drums anywhere near 100%, so I'm going to pull them all 127, which I normally pull down to like early 80s. But because I've performed it, I'm pulling one down, the dynamics still remain different. You can see they're all different. I'm pulling generally the loudest note down so that they all sound different, but at the same sort of level I want. I find that the 100% or 127, particularly on Superior drummer, sounds very plasticky, so I've pulled it down. Right, the snares are quite loud, so let's pull the snares down. Yeah, let's pull them down a bit. Let's get them down to about 80 again. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start getting the drums into a shape where I can start hearing them properly, not think, oh, that sounds weird. So I've got my own drum preset there. I'm just going to listen to it, and 100 times better already. Okay, and I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'm not going to concentrate too much on any of this. Pull them down a tad, but there we go. So let's make sure this motif kind of works, and I'm going to want to record it at least twice. I want to get the transition. Okay, because I think as a guitarist it's kind of unforgivable if all you can play is like 2 or 3 bars and do that. You know, it's you know, compared to the old days, this is hella cheating, but you know, let's do this. So we don't need the metronome anymore, so let's turn it off in play. We just want to pre-count and then we'll carry on. We don't need it because we've got the drums. Okay, so we've got a nice little section there. Let's go on to the other one again. Let's quickly do that. Okay, so what I would do immediately now, let's get rid of that, is get rid of the metronome, is create a bus to funnel these drums to. And I'm just going to call them drums bus. So rather than start messing about, guitar bus, is that because if I want to start EQing things afterwards, I just want to use one EQ rather than lots and double process it. So we've got guitar left and right. Let's change their sources to the guitar bus. So if I start pulling any levels now, it'll pull them down at once. So you see, both go at once. So I know this might seem a bit naughty, but I do this already because I want to feel what I'm doing. I don't want to be thinking, oh, I wish that sounded louder or whatever later on, because it gets you in the creative mode. So I'm just going to put Pro L2 on it. So FabFilter's Pro L2 straight away. I'm just going to smash it. I'm just going to get some quite loud. Let's go for punchy aggressive, as it says. Let's do that. Let's turn the sampling all the way on. Don't care about any of that. I don't care about that. Right. So let's listen to it now and let's crank it a bit. Okay, so it sounded a bit more interesting. So you can see now I've limited it, the drums sound quite loud, so let's pull them down a bit more. Okay, right, so I'm going to have to find some sort of second section, so we're going. Get that there. Let's make sure it's pre-rolling. Where are you on? Because it was on pre-count. We need pre-roll, which is that little sucker there, I think. Pre-roll. Oh, that sounds fun. So let's have a go at that. So. So the idea with that, guys, is I'll just do that and then I'll get the drums for it. So we've got this bit going on. So I'll get the drums for that quick. Go. And then I'll re-record this bit again. Right, so I can see that my loop needs to be around about there. So just a bit of a words of wisdom, guys. So sort of highlight all of that, alt text, crop. Make sure you snap the grids on this thing here. So if you can find sometimes if you haven't got that on, you might have looked like you've pulled it in, but in reality it's slightly off. So if you snap to grid, it will snap exactly on the point. So let's not worry about quantizing yet. Let's get some cymbals down again. I'll use the same trusty one, I think. Okay, and let's go. Okay, let's get a snare in. Let's bring the count down to 2. I'm getting sick of waiting for that. Okay, let's again crop the drums off there. So what I'll do is I'll play these drums back properly in a sec. So I want to keep the sections one, that can become one, don't care about that. Sorry, that can go off. So we've got two separate drum parts. Let's go in, quantize them again, 50%, let's give them a nudge. Let's look at the levels again. The cymbals are going to be quite loud, they always are, but we can mess around them with sooth and stuff. But 70-80ish is kind of where I live. Again, you can look at all them, they're generally on max level. So I'm going to pull the highest one down to about 70-80ish, and there still will be some natural variance in dynamics. Timing wise, everyone talks about, you know, snapping a grid. You just got to do it thereabouts, but it's the dynamics that change the kind of feel of the track, I feel more. So again, 100% smacking on a hit like that is a bit weird. So let's have a listen. So let's turn the metronome back off. Okay, apart from the sloppy playing, not bad. So let's do a pre-record now, and we go around again. Kind of. Okay, so just going to quickly record this section again, just to make sure we get it right. Now we've got the drums in place. Okay, nice and simple again, and you know, guys, if you're into more complex stuff, power to you. But most of the stuff I listen to, I think most of the stuff we all listen to, isn't about it being complicated. Yeah, so having a million chords, having a million different bits going on. Already I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, if I had the bass guitar, and I had my secret source plugin, my HD2MS, I've got a plugin here, and if I add this, listen to how this sounds now, guys. It's going to sound really beefy. Hello. Oh, the loop. I thought my computer would be fragged. Little loop you can see there. Right, okay, so let's turn that loop off. So what I'm going to do in my mix, I'm just going to pull my kick drum down a bit, because it's quite loud, a couple of dBs. There we go. Right, so this is populated without cymbals, so let's get them all populated. I always pick the bigger ones to start with, because sometimes they don't actually, they don't play out if you don't select something. So let's get them all in. Oh, that's nice. Big, let's go bigger. Oh, that wasn't actually bigger. Free together. So now you can start seeing that some of them are quite loud. Or did I not change the dynamics? Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, they're quite loud for a cymbal. Let's pull them down. Right, so what are they on? They're on, what are they? Yeah, they're still quite loud. Let's pull them down a bit. You can just tell, even though I've done that saturation plugin, it also just sounds a bit chonky. And then we've got two sections now to start. We need, get a third section and then we'll add some bass to it. So we've got to think what we're doing. So we're doing this little... In fact, what I'm going to do the second time round, this is important, guys, I've done it in another video, it's not necessarily what you play, it's how you play it. So you can have the same riff and play it loads of different ways. I'm actually going to go from chugs there to open notes, really slam it through. Okay, it's worth getting it 80% right, as they say. Okay guys, so what I'm doing is I'm being quite strict on the down hits, because when you can hear the difference in versus, you can kind of round over them, but I really want to hear the accents. Okay, and who knows, we could end up repeating that section just another time, but I think I want to really confuse, and not deliberately, but just musically I want it to be interesting. We've got 3 sections that are quite chunky. Yeah, my bet would have me repeating that section again, I think. Make sure we're lined up there. And then it's either going to go really slow, half time, or something like that, or back to the start. I think it might be time to throw one of my naughty pedals on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, let me keep that same drum motif on and keep that going on there. We'll loop it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in one of my other pedals. So on Toadmaster Pro, it's this doubler one I want to do. So I want to distort the double rather than double the distort. So let's move that after. So I just want to do something disgusting like that. Again, not complex at all guys, it's just what I'm feeling is a bit spicy. So let's try this one. I've got to be very careful that I get that bend the same on the second one. But it does sound naughty, doesn't it guys? Okay, so we've got that again. These other ones are sent to the guitar bus because they're pulled down at a certain level, so you see that's at -5. So if we listen to go that, again, the groover in me tells me I need to hear that again, and then we're going to go back round. So let's hear for the transition. You could almost think, all right, well, you can go back to some of the other stuff. There's likely going to be some clean bits or whatever going on, and you know, other stuff. But we've got that. If we were to loop, this is how I normally check my tracks now, whether they work or not. Is I'll get the I'm really making a meal of this. So get it all back on, and if we were to then get the cursor and go all the way around and loop it, go to the end and loop around, and does it feel normal when it starts again? So if it does, it's almost a keeper. If you can feel like the energy behind it and it comes around again, you think, you know what, that's actually okay, then you can probably do it. So let's do that. Ready? If it goes around and it feels good, then we're all right. And because of that weird pattern, the 2-3-1, it adds a bit of, okay. So I wouldn't say I would copy and paste a lot, but I think going back to there, then on a repeat, then some other section, then a breakdown later on. So we've got at least a chunk of the song done. Sorry, but what I will do, I'm going to add 2 more harmony guitars, and I'm going to start doing some weird stuff. Again, something I've started doing a lot recently is using like the Valhalla stuff for like ambient bits. So I'm just going to come up with an idea really. So I don't know where I want it. I think this section where it's just chuggy. I think where it's quite static and predictable, I want to get 2 other bits on there. So what you just saw me do there, the octavey kind of piece. So is that there? There he goes. Let's just get that. I think it repeats into there. Is it there? Yeah, so just that earlier section. I don't think that's that. Right, so just here where it's clean, what I'm going to do is do an octavey piece. Do I want it on? What do I want the other pickup? Someone said in my threads a while ago that, I'll just turn it off of that, we don't want that double, there's going to be loads of reverb and stuff on it, is that, you know, it's better to leave it in the bridge pickup than it is the neck, because you can always EQ it out, you can't add it back in again without adding some weird distortion or weird tone to it. Okay, and let's get that another one, so we want pan left and right, and then what I'll do is I'll create an effects track. I'm going to pull them down probably about 5 or 6 dB. Let's -6 them, so let's go really back down a bit. I don't want them overpowering the mix. And let's just see where they sit. So what I'll do is create an effects bus now, and on that effects bus it's going to be, I'm going to create a delay, I think. Do I want a delay? Yeah, delay. I found a lovely one recently, but let's go for Valhalla. Let's get a Valhalla delay. Let's get it in. Let's just, can't think of which one it is. So we'll get a delay. I'm going to find something I like the look. I think it was on effects. Was it this shards thing I used before? Yeah, there you go, long shards, that was it. So mix, really scoop it up a bit. I want the low, fine. So let's send those particular tracks to that instead. Let's pull them up. So when I send them to this delay, that one, it was the delay one, and then I want to send them to that delay one. Okay. Okay, that doesn't sound like a wise move. That sounds a bit funky. Yeah, not convinced. What I did the other day then, I found something, I think it was in Volcano, there was a weird filter that I like the sound of. So I just want to get this to sound, let's just solo what's going on there. Let's keep hunting for something funky. Okay, this really is random, guys, so hence I'm just looking for inspiration here. Still sounds too loud. Let's get them back. I think I pulled them up accidentally. Certainly goes to -6. Right. Okay. Not good. So let's look for a verb then. Valhalla. Let's go for the supermassive actually. Valhalla, supermassive. There's normally some outrageous stuff and there's some effects. Let's listen to this. That already might be okay, so we just want to hear it come in and then just... Okay, so just some in there to make it a little bit better than just the open. So let's listen to what we got and let's get the bass out and then we'll call it a day. So we've got something going there. A minute we've got about, how much we got music-wise? We've got about 40 odd seconds. We can double that with some stuff that we're talking about 2.5 minutes or something if we were to use this properly. But let's have a listen then, see what we've got. Okay, so we've got something going on there. Right, let me get this guitar off and let's get the bass on and let's see if we can make that work. We don't need that, so let's go back to bass. I think I did a video on it before. It sounds great in isolation, but in a mix, it's all a bit wonky. So let's pick a bass pick. I am a pick one, guys. I'm currently using, I think that's like the 3mm Jazz 3 style thing for a bass. Let's get that all out of the way. So we have a bass preset, so mine is that one there. So what I'm currently using is this. Okay, so you can help me decide, I suppose. That's it with the runes pedal. Let's put it off. Sounds good enough, like. But you just need a bit more gristle going on, I think, so it blends into the mix. Because when the whole mix has got some distortion and saturation on it, if it sounds like isolated on its own, or we've got the TC, the Sansamp, sorry, Tech 21 Sansamp thing, which is this. It has its own way, doesn't it? But I think rather than be scared of change, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to go for the new one. Let's turn that off, because ultimately it's going to sound similar. So let's turn that one on. It's got more low end growl. You hear that there, rather than the other one, the Tech 21 thing. Seems more high end focused, that one. That's fine. Let's go to the other one. Let's get the growl, because it is a low end growl I kind of want, I think. Let's try that. Nope. So we've got 3 positions: silicon diodes, regular LED, op amp. Did I save that? I hope so. I want to go back to where it was. let's go back. Is there an undo? There is an undo function. I swear there is now. Where are we? I swear there's an undo function in the Tonemaster Pro, but what I can do is go back and come back to my preset. Fine. Right. Okay, so I'm going to use that one. Let's get into a place. So we need to arm our track and get ready for that. The idea is to get it the best it possibly can be. So even if you can do it in one go, there's probably some merit in doing it the other way. Just to make sure we're in tune. The reason you didn't see me doing this with the other guitar is because it's an Evertune and it's never out of tune. It's strange actually. Now I've got it. It's really weird picking it up and it's never out of tune. It's like you pick it up and strum it, you're like, yeah, it's still the same. So this bottom string is G like it is on my other guitar. The rest of them are just for ease of playability, really. So, okay. So let's listen to what we played on the guitar. So it should be the same. Okay, one bit done, easy. Right, let's have a listen to see how that sounds. The difference that makes, guys. Yeah, it sounds chunky already, so that's pretty good. So at the start, we just come up with almost like a nothingness, and we're turning this into something that, you know, if you're creative enough, you can get your head into it. So. Yeah, you might want to play it somewhere else, like, you know, people like me playing on guitars like this. We generally keep it on the low register because that's what we feel, but I like the sound of it. It just, to me, it slaps, so I'm just going to keep doing that, I'm afraid. So you could play the octave bit to match it, but that's just going to sound thunderous. I've got a feeling that's going to sound pretty cheeky. Right, so I'm just going to put some controls on the bass. Let's listen to it in isolation. I'm just going to compress it. I always use this one, I'm familiar with using it. So let's get this one. I've got a bass preset. Let's just make sure it's kind of roughly right. I just want to see a fair amount of compression on it to still sound consistent. Similar level, but more. Too compressed, too loose, something like that. Too loose, somewhere there, off and on. Sounds good. Right, another trick, I'm going to put a limiter on it because it's bass as well, because it's really low tune stuff. We want to be properly giving it the low end. So let's go for the tube, bottom tube, do gain match it, true peak it, modern it, character up a bit, and let's just smash it. So if I turn off the gain match, that would be hella loud, but it's not. So we've controlled it. You can see there's a bit of cresting there. We're knocking it down, a couple of dBs of that. So when I put it back in, I can bring it back up again. And one naughty little trick just to make it sound how I want it straight on. So on the bass guitar, I'm going to unmask it with a kick drum. I just want that out of the way. So I'm going to side chain that straight to my superior drummer. So I don't want the whole frequency spectrum done. So this is where the kick is. That chunk there is the kick. I always find you can use presets but back them down a bit. You can see there we've got a couple of dBs. Because that is dodging the kick bass guitar when the kick drum's on. So let's have a listen to this and then let's call it a day. But that's probably a keeper of a track so far. In fact, before we do that, let's throw on what someone would say. Let's put the mastering chain on. So what I would do, I would put a compressor on here as well. I'll put my Shadow Hills compressor. So I'm just going to get 1 or 2 dBs of compression, but this sounds nice and warm anyway. I know it's one of those cop-out things you say in the analog domain, but it adds a bit of warmth to it. So let's have a listen. So that's way too high, obviously. So let's back the threshold on. So that's a discrete one, which is there. Let's pull it down. So we've lost a bit of level. Too much. Not enough. So I'll change the compression use based on how fast the track is and what the kind of dynamics are. So just a few dBs there, 1 or 2. So there's lots of other stuff we could do, but you know, for the sake of this video, that's been pretty good. So we've used this bass one there, and we used my my JCM 800 patch with the naughty pedal that I took it off because we switched. Didn't save it, but what we did use was these effects stomp box, and we used this little bad boy here. So yeah, that was quite a good little start. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, just in case anyone is wondering, just to get a bit more value out of this session, I would put a clipper on as well. I'd put it before that, so I'd probably put it way before the compression actually. So what I'm going to do is just listen to it, the wet signal, just at the point of clipping. So it's just clipping the snare drum, just a bit of that. So we don't want the normal. So let's see how much headroom we've saved. So that's too much. Let's go back a bit more. Okay, cool. So it's just clipping the bottom, and then so we saved a fair few dBs. Means the limiters don't have to work as hard. Let's do the same here. Same wet signal. Placement in the chain is important, so I'm going to put that pre-limiter. So again, it's listening just to just my wet signal. Let's link the two. Just as we start to clip the mix, soften it a little. Just the transients and how much we save in there. So again, we saved another 2 dBs there, so we saved a ton on the snare and we saved a bit there. So when we crank the limiter, okay, this might have felt like a minute or so for you, but this has been about a week and a half since I last did this. What I noticed when I recorded the first part is that I didn't have the studio audio. So you've got the mic in the room from my DJI mic cam here, but you haven't got the studio audio. So I'm just going to insert a bit at the start and a bit at the end here, just to show you what we ended up with, and it might actually add to the effect of the video to show, you know, what difference it makes in the room versus the studio. But anyway, so this is the track that we've come up with. Okay, Okay, so I just want to concentrate on a few bits that you wouldn't have properly heard. I tried a new pedal on the guitars, which was that grunt pedal on the Toadmaster Pro's firmware update. So this is the guitar tracks in isolation. And I used the new Runes pedal on the bass as well, which is the bass distortion. So that's that. Let's slam the drums in. Let's get the guitars in. And let's get it all in. Okay, so between me making that last video in the studio and you saw me tracking the riffs and things, this is me kind of a good way through the production of the track, and it's probably going to be a keeper. So I've actually given this one a name, Void Wave. Okay, just if anyone watches my channel frequently, this is some of the secret sauce I've got. So on my master here, I've got the HD2MS. Turn that off. Saturation, so we've got low end saturation, and on the mids and on the sides we've got a bit of higher frequency stuff. Shadow Hills compressor. Just clamps it down a bit and adds a bit more level. Okay, so this video has just been showing you a bit of composition. I hadn't picked up the guitar for a while, picked it up, started doing something, and we've almost got a full track now. So we'll take this one where it goes and add it to the pile of all the other ones. You know how it is. So yeah, check you out next time, guys.